Hey guys, welcome back to the final coverage of the MSI GF65 Thin. And what better way to end the coverage than with a gaming review? Yes, so the MSI GF65 Thin, like I said in my unboxing video and mini review, was purchased keeping in mind the use case of gaming and streaming. So it's about time we find out how well or bad the MSI GF65 Thin does in gaming. So without any further ado, let's begin the video. Now before showing you the gaming results, I want to talk about the gaming thermals. Now if you haven't watched my undervolting video, then I must recommend you to go and watch that video because it's very important. So in short, the MSI GF65 Thin at its default condition, like the default Intel MSI specification, gets pretty hot. I must say, I must admit it does get pretty hot, as in the default specification a lot of power is pushed into the CPU. The GPU is normal, but the CPU gets a lot of power. As a result, it does get quite hot, but it doesn't drop performance. Let me tell you, even though the system gets hot, it doesn't drop any performance. So don't worry, there is a loss of performance. There is none of that. But if you're not comfortable with such a hot machine, you should definitely watch my undervolting video and undervolt the system, as undervolting it provides a boost in performance in gaming and as well as in in productivity workloads, as well as the temperatures are down. So you should definitely undervolt this MSI GF65 no matter which variant you buy it. So after undervolting, the temperatures come down as less power is fed into the CPU and it's able to maintain very stable 4.2 GHz across all cores in games. Now what I found is that it is not necessary to run all your 6 cores at maximum clock speed. It's completely unnecessary when gaming. I found that if you lock the clock speeds to 4 GHz across all the 6 cores, it does a great job in maintaining the same level of gaming performance. Maybe a very slight drop, maybe like a couple of percentage here and there, like 2 to 3% drop, but mostly it's almost the same. Like I showed you in the previous video, go ahead and watch it. And I found the temperatures drop was significant. So if you undervolt your machine even by a slight and you drop all the clock speeds and lock it to 4 GHz across all the 6 cores in throttle stop or in the BIOS, I think it does a great job in balancing the temperatures and the performance. I think it's the best setting that you can go for. Lock all the clock speeds to 4 GHz and you can game all day long. So that was all about the thermals. If you want to know more about it, go and watch the video, but let's come back to the gaming results. Now the MSI laptop also allows you to overclock the GPU in the MSI Dragon Center. I have not done that, but it gives you really easy controls over the GPU so that you can overclock it and get some more FPS if you want. But I haven't done any kind of overclocking for this video. And yeah, I have applied my regular undervolting profile, which is negative 120 millivolt on both the CPU and the cache, and I have not locked the clock speeds for this video, but it's an option that you can do. So anyways, here are the gaming results. So let's start with the heaviest game that I tested, Red Dead Redemption 2 at ultra settings. Do note I used the same settings used by Jared's Tech to maintain parity. So the 1660 Ti can actually run RDR2 at ultra settings and can do it fairly well, maintaining an average of over 35 FPS. Can you guess how much the 3050 Ti gets in this benchmark? Well, nothing. That's because the 3050 Ti cannot run this benchmark at ultra settings, as it demands over 4GB of VRAM. At high settings, the 1660 Ti slots in between the 3050 and the 3050 Ti with 57 FPS. And at medium settings, the 1660 Ti gets an average of 72 FPS. Next up is Assassin's Creed Valhalla, another one of those incredibly demanding open world adventure games. We'll try high settings, very high settings and ultra high settings. And just like RDR2, the 3050 and the 3050 Ti just fail at both ultra high and very high settings due to it only having 4GB of VRAM. Whereas the GF65 with the 1660 Ti is able to give you perfectly playable experience in this game at both ultra high and very high settings. At high settings, the 1660 Ti is a whopping 43% faster than the 3050 Ti, and that's a pretty big difference. Next up is Horizon Zero Dawn, and before showing you the built-in benchmark results, I'm gonna show you some gameplay footage recorded with NVIDIA Shadowplay to demonstrate performance in very high intensity situations while streaming. Note that the graphics preset used for this footage is the original preset. Now when it comes to the built-in benchmark results, The top-end 3050 Ti pulls ahead of the 1660 Ti by 24% at ultimate quality, which is actually surprising, and whereas at original quality and favor quality modes, the difference is within margin of error. I don't have any explanation for this behavior. Next up is Far Cry 5, which is a game I only use to test the gaming thermals of a laptop. But in the built-in benchmark at ultra settings, the 1660 Ti pulls ahead of the 3050 Ti by 12% and by 10% at high settings. Next up is CSGO Utherical FPS benchmark, where I only have data for the MSI GF65 1660 Ti, and it gets 263 FPS at max settings and 289 FPS at low settings. Do note, connecting an external monitor and bypassing Optimus will fetch you higher FPS in this very CPU bound game. Next up is Shadow of the Tomb Raider, one of my favorite exploration games. We're going to test the built-in benchmark. And here only the 3050 Ti takes a lead over the 1660 Ti and 3050 by about 8% in the highest preset and about 9% in the high preset. The 1660 Ti, MSI GF65 and the 3050 are basically tied with each other in this game. Next up is Forza Horizon 4, which is a very optimized game and runs well across many GPUs. Now for this game I only have data for the MSI GF65. At ultra settings it's able to maintain 84 to 87 FPS on average. Now do note that this game uses more than 4GB of VRAM at ultra settings, so GPUs with less VRAM may drop frames in these settings. Okay, now I'm going to show you performance of some FPS games that people tend to stream. So starting with Apex Legends at maximum settings. Now I don't know anything about this game, I don't know how to play this game, and wait times were so long that I couldn't join in a real match. So I'll just roam here aimlessly in this firing range, and hopefully it'll give you some idea about the performance you may get while streaming this particular game at maximum settings. Next is Fortnite, all high settings with maximum draw distance. Now once again, don't laugh at my noob gameplay, but regarding performance, expect to get around 100 FPS average while streaming at high settings. Lastly, we got once upon a time a sensation, PUBG at ultra settings. So the game put me in this smaller map where we get about 120 FPS on average. I don't know the name of this map actually, but expect 85 to 90 FPS on average on larger maps like Erangel or Miramar at ultra settings while streaming.
So that's it for this video, guys. That was the last coverage of the MSI GF65 thin. I have covered the other aspects of the laptop in my unboxing video, how is the build and all those kind of things. I've covered the undervolting and thermals part in my undervolting video, and in this video I covered the gaming results, and I think the gaming results of this laptop is incredible. At 75,000 rupees, there is no laptop that provides you the combination of a fast 6-core processor, although in this case a 6-core processor is quite power hungry, but I give it that. It does have a 6-core processor which is quite fast for gaming. It has a fully powered 80-watt GTX 1660 Ti. It also has a 144Hz display which the Victus doesn't have, and it comes with 16GB of RAM in dual channel at 2933 MHz clock speeds. So overall, this GF65 is an absolute gaming package. If you want a laptop at the lowest price possible that will give you the best FPS possible, even going forward because of the 6GB of VRAM, I think the MSI GF65 thin is one of the perfect choice.
I mean, if the Victus had 144 display, I would recommend the Victus over the MSI, because the overall laptop of the Victus I think is better because of the Ryzen processor. But this MSI is fully packed, fully specced out for gaming, and it does gaming very well. So that's it for this video, guys. Do like, share and subscribe. Keep supporting this channel, as these videos take a long time to make in my very busy schedule. And yeah, I try to give you the most technically accurate results as possible, and you know, I work for you. I try to provide you the best deals possible. So if you want to purchase any of the laptops, any laptops which you feel is good value for money, is listed down in the description, and you can buy your laptops from those links. It helps out the channel. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.